Welcome back to Real America. Well, he's known for his undercover journalist reporting that has exposed hundreds of scandals and false reports by the mainstream media. Most recently, his organization, Project Veritas, was responsible for exposing the blatant illegal ballot harvesting taking place in Minnesota. Our special guest tonight, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. James, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
All right, James. So I know you got all kinds of stuff that you're breaking today. First, let's back up because a lot of people out there on the left, including politicians like Ilhan Omar and other Democrats like Nancy Pelosi and the lamestream media, have said your reporting on this ballot harvesting was fake, a phony, made up. Would you like to defend yourself? Because I've watched it numerous times and it looks pretty damn real to me.
I mean, I don't know why they say it's fake. It's completely real. Fox 9 report said that we bribed the guy to say these things. We did no such thing. And when you interview the bank robber and ask what their explanation is, they're going to say whatever they need to say to get out of it. But this man, Liban Mohammed, did in fact have more than 20 ballots in the vehicle. You could see the ballots in the vehicle, and it's clear as crystal. It's absolutely self-evident. It's against the law what he did, and we stand by our reporting.
Let's talk about that reporting and how you, because I love what you do at Project Veritas, you bust a lot of myths and lies and misleading information from mainstream media, newspapers and cable networks and the big three. Now it looks like you're getting involved in a lawsuit with one of those big ones. I saw you just busted that out yesterday, going up against the New York Times.
We're going to go up against the New York Times. They've said they're going to print a correction, so hopefully we don't have to actually sue them. But the New York Times said it's part of a disinformation campaign, our videos were, because we embargoed the clips with people ahead of time. That doesn't make it disinformation if we just simply share the videos ahead of time. So we think that's outrageous, and of course we're going to keep fighting the good fight. Most people don't have the will or the resources to fight back. We do. So the media likes to lie, slander, attack us, that say there's no such thing as voter fraud. They're not doing investigative reporting. They're engaged in news suppression.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, James. And we've got some video of a video that you posted, I believe, last night or day before, talking about that potential lawsuit with the New York Times. It highlights that article if folks have not read that, because probably a lot of people that watch OAN don't pick up the New York Times anymore. It is not the paper of our grandfathers or father, like you and I used to say, right? Tell folks what this lawsuit entails. Why is Project Veritas going after them?
Well, I mean, the defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, again, if they don't retract this article saying Project Veritas videos were part of a coordinated disinformation effort, there's nothing in the article that substantiates the claim the videos were deceptive or we were doing a coordinated disinformation campaign. We will sue them for defamation and we will win on summary judgment. You know, it's not the paper that my father used to read. It's disgusting. They are what they project onto us. So they say that we selectively edit. They say we use anonymous sources. Well, that's rich because we didn't use any anonymous sources. You could hear the people's voices when the guy says we broke the law. You can hear what he says. He says we don't care that it's illegal is what he says. You don't hear anything when the New York Times prints the Trump tax return. It's insane. So the double standard is no longer a double standard. It's a part of Orwell's 1984 doublethink, where they literally accuse you of what they're doing. They say that that you can't use we don't even know if there's evidence when you can see their faces. We have no evidence. It's become what I call psychopathic. The New York Times has become psychopathic, and that's why we're fighting back.
Good for you, James. I got to give you props, by the way. There was one video a while back that you did that I absolutely loved. You went undercover at CNN, and I want folks out there to know what kind of bias Mr. Zucker, the CEO of CNN, has and the hatred he has for our president. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Project Veritas. Look at James' video. Was that last year or earlier this year when the impeachment trial was going on?
Of 2019, the CNN insider Kerry Porch was his name.
Reported
Jeff Zucker's conversation saying the impeachment is the story, sort of driving home every morning on the editorial calls what the story is. When journalism
when you had real journalists speaking up against it, saying, but Mr. Zucker, we have other news to cover for the American people. Let's cover other stories, and they wouldn't do it. It's crazy. Okay, James. So I know that we have a story that's about to break. That's huge for you guys. Another amazing undercover video. Your producers just sent it to us. Before we roll this 2-minute, 22-minute, 30 clip, would you like to set up this new investigative report you've done out of Colorado, which I've only seen a few seconds of it, but man, does it look pretty damning towards a Democrat political leader in that state. Set it up for us.
Well, we haven't released it yet, so I can't say anything about it, but it's going to be released today, and it clearly shows an effort to do violence. It shows an effort to embrace revolutionary tendencies, and that's all I can say. Stay tuned. We'll be releasing it this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. People ask where, all over social media, Twitter. These videos get millions of views on social media at this point. We need a groundswell. Stay tuned for the quote-unquote armed revolution exposed in this video by some of these Democratic Party officials in Colorado.
2020 is a political revolution. I am going to do everything morally acceptable to win. I will lie, I will cheat, I will steal, because that's morally acceptable in this political environment.
This is Chris Jacks from Our Revolution, a radical left 501c4 organization bent on creating a, quote, political revolution in the United States. Jacks represents the Democratic Party here in Colorado. And Jacks says a Biden administration will be used to advance his political objectives, or else there will be violence.
It's going to take a strategic hit against the 21% that's in charge, because that's who it is. It's killing random Nazis in the street, random bootlickers. So you want to do some Versailles you want to do some Antifa you really want to change this country that way with violence? There's only one way to do it. You got to get people that are close to billionaires and start just random billionaires start turning up dead. I mean, Bezos at the top of the list. I do think there needs to be a militant group, and I love Antifa for that reason. I love that there's, you always have to have somebody that's willing to hold up the flag and say, no, this is the line in the sand, and we're the ones holding that line. But they ain't stabbing motherfuckers like they used to. They don't have to, though, because they used to stab motherfuckers. See?
Yeah.
And that's all we gotta say. No. Guillotines, motherfucker. That's all we gotta say. Option A, what I'm proposing. Option 2, slicey boys. What are your choices? Which one do you want?
Joe Biden is presumably left-wing, and he's got a functioning signing hand. And as long as there's progressive legislation that comes across his desk, I am confident we can occupy his house. We know where he'll live.
So there you think?
And yeah, he wants to veto Medicare for all. Let him veto it. He's never leaving that house again without protest. Half of the struggle that I have ain't with Republicans. It isn't with the right wing. It's with moderates in the Democratic Party.
They underestimate how many people on the left are organized, trained, armed, and ready to go.
Whoa, okay, that's some crazy, explosive stuff right there, James. This guy, Chris Jacks, this is the head of a Democrat Party outfit in Colorado. This is near the city of Fort Collins, talking about killing billionaires, getting violent, praising Antifa, wishing they were more violent. This is insane.
Yeah, this guy's the head of Our Revolution, the chair of Our Revolution, which is a radical 501c4 group devoted to creating a political revolution in the United States. He praises guillotines, killing people, including Jeff Bezos, lying, cheating, and stealing. This guy's also on the executive committee of the Democratic Party of Colorado, so we're hoping for a response from the Democratic Party out there. So we'll see how this is breaking news right now. So we'll see the reactions and responses from this videotape. Clearly, the one thing the communists fear more than anything else is being exposed.
Yes, and James, you were doing a great job at that at Project Veritas. I hope that the Department of Justice sees this video, get it sent to the Trump administration. They got to start investigating this guy and possibly putting him in cuffs. I mean, he's literally making threats, talking about wanting people dead to push their crazy left-wing agenda. This is not the political discourse at 45 years old I grew up with. And James, I know you're a few years younger than me, but by God, we used to have a country where we could discuss things and then just say, let's agree to disagree. This guy is nuts, period.
I mean, he is. Whether the law enforcement does anything, I think our country is facing a moral and legal crisis, and that no laws are enforced by anyone because no one has the political will to. In Minnesota, the videos we released, no one was arrested, no one was held accountable, and the powers that be attacked me. The solution to that problem is to release more videos. Our email address is VeritasTips, that's VERITAS tips @protonmail.com. And if you're out there in the country and you're a whistleblower and you're a brave patriot, we ask that you contact us and wear a hidden camera, because there's a lot of stories out there to tell.
James, you already answered my last question. I was going to ask you how folks can get a hold of you to keep going with this undercover journalism that you've been doing for years now. It is exceptional, it's amazing, and it is needed, especially in this new crazy left-wing political climate we are in. Ladies and gentlemen, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, we thank you so much for doing what you're doing. You are a patriot, sir. I know you got to get back to work. Get back after it.
Thank you. Got to go. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Coming up after the break, new information about the coronavirus from the CDC has some revealing details about the use of masks. We'll break it down with one of our medical experts next.